Good evening, and welcome to the Vodkast. Vodkast. I don't know. Trying to come up with a intro to the future show, the Vodcasting show, where we try a new vodka every night for 1 year. That's right. No, I probably won't do that because I'd have to have a lot of money to do that. If you guys want me to do that, go to the About tab after you watch this, and then we'll donate there. If you guys got an idea what the Vodcasting show should be about, let me know in the comments below on the Facebook, on the YouTube, on the Twitter. I don't care. Just get to me, man. What am I gonna do after this? I mean, I keep saying we got a long road ahead of us. We really do. I mean, we're going to call this probably video 37 or 38. So, we got 365, man. Isn't that crazy? We got a long time. So I'd love some ideas, some suggestions. If you're enjoying these, share them with people that you think might enjoy them as well, or that, I don't know. I just love, I talk to Kyle Dole so much now, and, I enjoy talking to Kyle Dole. I didn't know Kyle Dole that well. We knew each other back in Massachusetts. But, I just feel like our web of friends could just really grow and really just hug, Let's bring it in. Everybody bring it in. Come on. I'm working on a virtual hug machine. It's going to be pretty expensive. So I'm going to need you all to donate at least 7 figures to this deal. Yeah, maybe someday. I want to tell you about the crying game. I know I've been known to shed a few tears. I am just a broken man. The shell of a man I once was. No, I'm just as much a man as I have ever been, which isn't much of a man, mind you. Wait a minute, did I just insult myself? I think I did. Anywho, I've played D&D. This is kind of geeky. I told you, you're going deep into Geekville. I am the mayor of this geektropolis. Geektropolis. That's. Oh, do you know what? You know who lives in Geektropolis? Blockcon. Yeah. You know who else lives there? Hold on. Well, that didn't work out so well. Burnicorn. Yeah, that's his arch enemy. It was kind of ineffective after the first one. I kind of really let myself down there. Yeah, I'm a sensitive guy. I cry at the drop of a dime. That's who I am. That's why I think that the whole gender bending thing, I hate that term, but, I didn't grow up changing oil on cars or, playing sports or spitting. I grew up with my mom, and because of that, I don't know. I'm not saying that in general women are more sensitive than men or anything like that, but it's how you're raised. If you're not raised to be man or woman, obviously you're male because you have penis or testicles or whatever's down there for you. I don't know. I'm not checking either. So, but to tell a man that he has to live one way, manly, and a woman that she has to live one way, a lot of Christians. My friend and singer in my band, Vic Sizemore. Yeah, that's right. It's my band, bitches. No, it's not. He just wrote an article. If I can put a link up to it over here, I will. It's on Facebook. It's about Christian education. Oh no, it's sex, love, and Christian education or something like that. And you should check it out. But it brings me to my gender bending point of view. It's I think people can't figure me out sometimes because, I hate saying this, but, manly or scruffy. I'm saying I look manly. No, but I'm rough and tumble. I'm not clean cut by any means. But I still walk. I don't know how to say this. Like, but when people get to know me, they see that I'm not gruff or mean or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I'm misinterpreting how people interpret me before I actually get to know them. But when I look at myself in the mirror, you know, or if I see a little kid going down the toy aisle and he sees me, he usually goes the other way. You used to do that when you were a kid? An adult or a teenager or somebody older than you came into the aisle when your parents weren't there, you're like, oh shit. This is going down right now. I gotta get the fuck out of here. And you just take off, even though you really want to look at the G.I. Joe guys. Yeah, that's a personal experience. Anywho, crying is okay. And I'm not gonna... Yeah, I'll say your names. I don't care. Bring it on. I ran a game. I didn't start D&D running D&D games. I knew very little about it at the time. It just knew that it seemed like a cool concept, an idea, a fun thing to do. And I had the deities and demigods from Advanced Dungeons. No. First Edition Dungeons and Dragons. And so I wanted to try it out and check it out. So I went out and I did, and I learned, and then I decided I want to run a game. And I, you know, the first game I ran, there was like 13 people or something like that. It was all my friends that, you know, I hung out with at youth group or something like that. And so we had like those overnighters. Those weren't my first real games, though. I then went on to play with other people like Pete and Rob and learn that D&D is something other than, or different than how I was originally taught. Not better or worse or anything, but so they taught me how to really play and make a character and role play. Even though the first games I played in, I did role play, but they were into it, and I was glad that, like, and not that Joe Hooper, who originally taught me how to play, like, not how to play, but the rules of the game or whatever. It was just different because I played multiple characters. Anywho, there comes a day that I haven't played D&D in a few years, probably. Well, no, I probably played, but not so much. And the opportunity comes up. I find that, you know, Peter Burnt, we stopped playing our game, but he wants to play. He doesn't want to run. Rob wants to play. Jeff Godick wants to play. He'd love to play. Dave Matthews decides he wants to play. And then Jeff Travers, he jumped on board. I don't know if he'd ever played before, but they were all his closest Dighton or Rehoboth friends. I can't remember. Dighton. I think they lived in Dighton. And so that was it. The first real game I ran was with Jeff Godick, Peter Burnt. I don't think Rob Burnt played. Dave Matthews and Jeff Travers, and then Corey, I can't remember if he started with them or he came in and out with them, but I had to start from scratch. That was the first time in my life that I had to write something like other than something for school, and all of a sudden I found that I loved doing it. It was just like, oh my god, anything is possible now. I'm starting this. And that obviously, when I was younger, I pulled on a lot of ideas I had just started learning about through reading fantasy books or something like that. However, you know, that would come to change when I built my own world. And so that's where I started, probably 19 years old. I decided, I'm going to do my own world. That way we're not playing in a world where everybody knows locations and history and characters. I wanted everything to be very original. And so I created Athalia, which was my world. I know this is going kind of around the whole crying game, but we're getting there. This will be a two-parter. This will be a catch-up night, because this is video number 3, I think. I don't know. I can't keep up with these things. You people. I'm sorry, I don't expect you guys to watch. Like I said, you may not even be watching this. But I know these videos get long sometimes. But like I said, these are for you guys. This is for me. This is for being able to reconnect and with people back home that I may not get to see or talk to all the time. I'm glad that like people are watching these because like I want people home to know that even though we may not communicate as often as we do, like I still feel connected to people back there. I wish I could just bring everybody here. Or I wish we could all just go somewhere else. San Diego would be ideal. Hawaii would be nice. I was thinking Switzerland. I don't know. If anybody's interested, maybe we can all just, boom, let's just go somewhere. Let's do this, man. Life is too short. Let's see the world together. Let's start a commune in, I don't know, Australia. I don't care. Let's just do something, man. Let's shake it up a little bit. Okay. D&D. So that's how I started writing, too, like, the fantasy stuff that I've written, and, you know, the one book I've put out, and then the other books I have written. That I'm just so lazy. Well, it's not laziness. It's this. It's drawing. It's playing in a band. It's raising kids. It's homeschooling. It's working part-time. It's a lot of shit goes down. So, yeah, it's tough to get it all in. Anywho, I am so sorry. The crying game. I started running for these guys, and we started getting really close. Like, that's who I hung out with for a few summers. Jeff, Goad, you know, Pete, Rob, Pat Russell, Corey, Dave Matthews, that whole gang, Jeff Travers, whatever. And so that's the games that we played. Now, I don't want to go too much into detail, but I'll tell you each character. We'll start with Dave Matthews. He was Drizdoran, basically. Kalomar Olanre was a dark elf, or as it would become known in my world, an Ashelvan elf, or a gray elf, because I don't want to get sued. He was a ranger, dual-wielded, had all these animal companions, but was a cool character. Like, he played the character really well. He was into role-playing. Jeff Travis was a furbolg giant. I bought the Humanoids expansion for 2nd edition D&D, and it had Minotaur and all these other races. Kender. I've had Kenders in my games. But he played a furbolg giant who eventually went on to become King of Italia. I know that means a lot to you. I told you this is going deep geek right here, man. You're in it right now. You're committed. I think. I don't know. 12 minutes. Let's see. So Janik Spelldancer was Peter Burnt's character. He was a wizard of neutral wizard. And Jeff Godick. Everyone I played with, Rob, everybody I played with were wonderful role players. But Gode had something else. Like, these other guys knew how to role play honor and justice and law and to be fair and to be good. Gode knew how to play an evil character and still be able to, for the most part, play with them for a while until, well, we got to roll it back a little bit. Earlier on in the gaming sessions, the current King of Italia, he goes on to hang himself in the library of Castle Italia, which has indoor plumbing, by the way, because the dwarves have mined rivers through the castle. I always thought that was just genius, sheer genius. I should have made them gnomes. I'm changing it. Right now, gnomes. I'll have to go back and rewrite the first book again now. Great, thanks. One word, after changing the whole book. Anywho, the King of Italia at the time, I can't remember his name, Bellet Redwood, sent them on a quest to retrieve 7 rings that, if united in one person's possession, would give them the ability to challenge a god of my world, one of the 3 major gods, there's other minor gods, to a fight, basically. They feel like they've attained enough power that they're strong enough to overcome whatever god they choose to fight. So I think he tricked them somehow into getting the rings. And, but that's later on. Like I said, let's pedal back a little bit. They were traveling for the king to get one of these rings in through this desert where there's a magical barrier that separates this temperate, humid desert with this frozen, barren wasteland. And so there's an avalanche because the dragon, Cold Knight, I didn't name the dragon, came in and caused an avalanche. And his rider was Jimmy Bassett's character, who had been dominated by Gode's character, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. So this dragon takes down the mountain. Now, the group is separated. And that's where we ended. So I called Pete, Goad, and Trav, if I'm not mistaken. And then it was Dave. I can't remember how it was spread out. But 2 characters thought the other 2 characters were dead. We continued playing with the other characters. But I ran an opposite game with the other characters. So I somehow worked it out for about 4 games. 2 each. Or maybe it was 2 games, 1 each. I can't remember. Where I said, yeah, they're making new characters this week. We're going to figure out. Somehow I was able to convince them, I don't know, that the other characters, maybe they knew. I can't remember. I don't know. I don't remember the shit. But when the avalanche occurred, they were separated and they couldn't find the other 2. They assumed the other 2 had died in the snow, and so that's when we ended the game. And I said, when they didn't come back to play the next week, I said, yeah, I wanted to play a game or 2 with just you guys to see if you can finish this quest, because they have to make new characters. I said, so we'll try to cram these in. In the meantime, if I'm not mistaken, it was Trav, maybe. I can't remember. No, it was Dave, I think. Dave and Pat's character, which wasn't a major player in the game, and Corey, I think, were playing the off week. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching this. And they had made it to the keep to get this lost ring. Well, come to find out, it had been overrun by one of their other enemies that they hadn't. Oh, Rillis Knave, who ended up become a sentient being within a sword and hunted them down again, even as an inanimate object. Shit, it's gone. This whole story just went out the window. Anywho, so when I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was when they died or when they realized they were alive. The next week, we all got together to hang out one night to do something, but I made sure it was only D&D guys. And at that point, as they're coming into this antechamber to face their enemy, so is their friends who are here already. So they realized, and when they realized it, like, I don't it's very super nerdy. Like, it's dirty nerdy. That's how filthy this is. It's dirty nerdy. But, like, I remember, like, they were such good role players, everyone in the group. Like, there was an emotional moving moment when they realized that, no, they're not making new characters. They're actually back, and they're, you know... This is probably the nerdiest conversation I will ever have on here. So, let's say, episode 37, 38? I don't remember anymore. I'll write it on there. Anyway, yeah, this is the nerdiest episode I've ever done. And they overthrew their nemesis at the time and captured his soul and a sword. I don't know. This may have been a separate adventure. I'm putting the 2 together at this point because I can't remember. Yeah, they moved on to go find more rings. And that's when Alistair started plotting, when we find all 7, I'm going to take them. And I'm going to challenge the god. Because I think they were like, you know, they were heavy, higher level. We'd been playing together for a while, a year or more. This campaign was running on, and when it came time for him to make his move, he successfully stole them, and he left the group. And I then again had to run 2 separate games where they knew he was alive, but they didn't know where he was, so they were trying to find him to stop him from becoming a god, basically, and or getting killed, basically, because they were the good guys. They were still friends with him. Some of them wanted him dead because of things he had done. However, Jim's character, I believe, because he was forced to kill innocent people and so on and so forth. So they're trying to reach up to them. The challenge of becoming or getting beyond this gate, he had to fight, it was like 2 dragons, I can't remember, red and gold or something like that. It's something weird, I don't remember. But I knew I would fudge the rules, and everybody knew I would fudge the rules, because I didn't want him to die, because his goal was in sight, and he was doing well, and I could have made Alistair Crowley. Well, I would have had to change the name for our game, but that's what he called his character. I always drop that. I've written about him in my book and future books, but I always drop the Crowley. It's Alistair something, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Anywho, so I let Rob and Pete be those opposing dragons to him, and he did well. Like, he came up with some great strategies, but in the end, somehow they outsmarted him and they killed him, and that was it. And I think it was like a really rough time in the game too, because it was just like they were just trying to be fair to every player. Like, every player was having to deal with. I think it became personal too, like Goad being able to do whatever he wanted to, and he was sucking time out of the game too, because I had to run 2 games, and so I was writing less or whatever. Anywho, so in the end, he was defeated, and it was rough because I had to make the judgment call. It was one of those things where he's just like, well, what if I do this? And I'm like, well, make a roll. It was borderline, and I ended up giving it to, well, the 2 dragons that stopped him from becoming a god or whatever. I don't know. This is going to come up with a warning. Warning. Super dirty nerdy. That's it. Yeah. We'll call this one. And number 3, like every night, it may come, it may not come. I always do at least 3 videos. Sometimes a lot more. And if I strike gold, it goes up, and if it just falls on its face, then you never see it. So, you guys, please do everything in your power to make 5 people. Oh, we're up in the ante. Yeah, we're going from 2 to 5. 5 people smile tomorrow. Let's you know, and you can't use people you know. That's not fair. New people. Yeah, you're getting scolded, okay? I'm just kidding. Live your life. If it makes you happy to not make people smile, then don't make people smile. But if it doesn't, try it out. Give it a whirl. You know? Stop and smell the roses. We ain't here forever. If you guys want to move to some island, you want to pool some money, we can all move to an island, set up some nice internet, broadcast from there. I don't know. Maybe you'd be the only ones watching it. Anywho, thanks for stopping by as always. And if you liked it, share it with somebody who else might like it. I'd love to stop and just quit my job and let this thing spread like wildfire. Build a new set and go on a road trip with my kids and record. I don't know. I've got so many ideas in mind, and so just bear with me. Hang out, man. I'm having a good time, and I hope you are too. So I'll catch you next time. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I hope number 3 makes it. If not, then I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.